Hello, nature lovers. Have you ever wondered where the domestic donkey came from? Let's explore the world of the wild donkeys, also known as wild asses. There are different types that live in specific parts of Africa and Asia. These animals are known for surviving in dry, harsh places. Here's a simple look at the main types, where they come from, and what makes each unique. African wild ass. Where they come from. Africa, mostly in dry regions like Ethiopia, Eritrea, and parts of Somalia. Different types, Nubian wild ass. Originally from areas in Egypt and Sudan. Somali wild ass. Found mostly in the Horn of Africa, like Somalia and nearby countries. Special traits. They have a light gray color, and in the Somali subspecies, stripes on their legs. They don't need much water and can go for days without drinking. Status. They are critically endangered, meaning there are very few left in the wild. The ancestor of the domestic donkey. Around 5,000 to 7,000 years ago, early humans in North Africa began domesticating African wild asses. This domesticated lineage evolved into what we now know as the domestic donkey, while the original wild population continued to exist in the wild. Today, the African wild ass exists in small, endangered populations in the wild, but domesticated donkeys, descended from these wild asses, are found worldwide. Asiatic wild ass. Where they come from, Asia, in desert and steppe regions from the Middle East to Mongolia. Different types onager lives in Iran. Kulan found in Central Asia like Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Indian wild ass, found in the salt flats and deserts of western India. Mongolian wild ass, Kulan, lives in Mongolia and northern China. Special traits. They're known for their speed and endurance, with a tan or reddish-brown color that helps them blend in with their environment. They also travel long distances to find food and water. Status. Some are endangered due to hunting and habitat loss, but some populations are stable. Historically, some attempts were made to domesticate onagers, especially in ancient Mesopotamia and the Middle East, where they were sometimes used in hybrids or as pack animals. However, unlike the African wild ass, the onager never fully adapted to domestication and is not a primary ancestor of any domestic animals. Kiang, also known as the Tibetan wild ass. They originate from the high plains of the Tibetan Plateau, spanning areas in Tibet, India, particularly Ladakh and Nepal. There are different types of kiangs, the Western kiang, found in the western parts of Tibet and Ladakh in India, the Eastern kiang, which lives in eastern Tibet and nearby areas in China, and the Southern kiang, found in parts of Nepal and nearby regions. Kiangs are larger than other wild donkeys, sporting a reddish-brown color and a thicker coat to keep warm in the cold mountain climates. They are social animals, living in groups. While they are not endangered, some regions are experiencing threats from human activities. Attempts to domesticate the kiang have been unsuccessful due to their temperament and preference for high-altitude habitats, making them unsuitable for domesticated uses. Kiangs remain fully wild, with no known domesticated descendants. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time and stay wild.